Hi, it's Sarah here from Thriving Solo, and here on my Thriving Solo channel and over on my website, The Accidental Healthcare Business Owner, mouthful, I know, wasn't the best title. I've so far been covering business foundations, so things like intake processes, scheduling and managing admin, and I've also covered client growth, things like attracting new patients, creating a clear offer, and building an online presence. We're going to continue to build those out over time, but today I'm adding a third pillar, which is around practitioner mindset. You'll find it very difficult to grow a sustainable business if you don't go into it with the right mindset or at least develop it along the way. So we're going to have a little look at how sustainable growth starts with how you think about time, responsibility, and good care. And the the reason for that is that it actually affects everything else that we do. So when I started my clinic, I already knew that I needed to protect my time, but another solo health practitioner that I was treating would come into me each week with stories of late nights, catching up with paperwork. There would be the various problems that she was having, actually learning new things that she needed for her business, things that would actually streamline her business, and she couldn't make time for those. And part of that was because she wasn't protecting her time. She felt that she needed to be running the clinic as many hours as she possibly could in order to make the income. There is obviously some truth in that, but there's also things that we need to do, because otherwise, if you don't protect your time and your health, then it's going to impact on your clients anyway. So some of the hidden costs are sleep drops, your patience drops, and so you could end up losing clients either because you're not giving them the right level of care, or possibly you get a bit snappy with them, or you don't communicate well enough with them in other ways, and so they drop off. Your joy in your business drops, and that makes it even harder to sort of push through any difficult times, and everything just feels harder day to day. So, like I say, when I set mine up, I knew that I wanted to work part-time because I knew that running a business is a whole other element. I had run and helped my husband run solo businesses before, and I know what the admin costs are of that. So when I set up my clinic, I was ready for that. There were still lessons that I needed to learn along the way, and there are still lessons now that I'm learning with this new element. But one of the biggest things, like I say, I think is mindset. And mindset is the set of beliefs that decides what you say yes to, what you tolerate, and what you think you should do. Systems matter, marketing matters, pricing matters, but mindset is what determines if you keep those things going, if you align them to your business. A real practitioner mindset lets you hold two truths at once. You care deeply about outcomes and client experience, but your energy and time and focus are clinical resources, not an endless free add-on. Burnout often comes from a mismatch. Your values are high, your capacity is human, and you're not making enough time for you to be able to match those values. There are three mindset layers that run your practice, and they are identity, beliefs, and habits. Mindset sounds abstract until you break it into its parts. In day-to-day practice, those three layers stack like a simple ladder. If the top rung feels shaky, your habits, it helps to check what's underneath. So identity is about who you think you are, but it's your internal label. It's the story that you live from. If your identity is, I'm the practitioner who always goes above and beyond, you're going to feel guilty doing anything that looks like a boundary. If it's, I'm a steady clinician and a steady business owner, acknowledging the amount of time that goes into business ownership, you'll protect your time because it protects your care. Beliefs are what you think is true. And these are your rules as you establish them about care, money, and what clients expect. Some are useful, some are inherited, and some are just panic dressed up as ethics. A belief can sound noble while it's still hurting you. For example, good care means unlimited time. It sounds compassionate, but it can quietly train you to overrun every appointment. And how is that helping the client that comes next? Habits are what you do on repeat. Habits are beliefs with legs. They show up in your schedule, your policies, your charting, and your follow-up. If your belief is that good care means unlimited time, your habits might be squeezing in just one more thing at the end of a session, running 10 to 20 minutes late, then apologising again. You lose your charting window so that notes spill over into your evening. You start the next day already behind and already tense. So a steady mindset does something that is both boring and wonderful. It helps you choose repeatable actions, it helps you protect your energy, and it keeps the client experience consistent. And that's what makes growth sustainable. So mindset is the filter. It decides what you start, what you avoid, and what you repeat. And all of those things are, absolutely critical. So in this mindset space, we're going to look at a variety of different things. We're going to look at myths that keep you stuck, such as I should be able to do this alone, or clients will think I'm salesy. We'll dig into those myths and figure out what the hidden costs are of those false beliefs. And better yet, we'll reframe those beliefs. I'll give you some suggestions, but you have to work out what resonates with you or it won't stick. We're also going to take a look along the way at the burnout loop versus the growth loop. You want to be able to recognise the burnout loop so that you can avoid it, and you want to build in those habits that you need and that will work for you specifically to create a growth loop. Again, I'll make suggestions for small changes that you can build in rather than big bursts that are going to require you to reduce your clinic time in order to fit them in. You want something that you can grow along the way, alongside the work that you're doing. Again, you should pick and choose what feels natural to you. A real biggie for me is the mindset self-care connection. Self-care is a business strategy, not a reward. So much more so in the field in which we work. Self-care isn't only helping you, it isn't only helping your clients by keeping you sane, it's also helping your clients by modelling behaviours that they can try out in between their sessions with you. So we'll look at self-care in great depth, because techniques that work for one person don't always work for others, or they don't work at specific times. If you're too stressed, you might not be able to start a mindfulness or meditation practice at that point, but you maybe could take 5 to 10 minutes from your day to listen to some music that makes you feel a particular way. Perhaps it's uplifting music that makes you want to move. Perhaps it's soothing music that helps you wind down. Whatever it is, experiencing different forms of self-care gives you more tools in your toolbox to recommend to others, and it allows you to speak with integrity when you're recommending those to other people. And you can talk about your own experience and find out where they are at that particular time and suggest different things that they may be able to fit in and build up to bigger things. Also, some of those you could provide free, and some of them you could even monetize, and we will talk about this as we go along. Now, boundary setting can work in a similar way. We need to set appropriate boundaries with our clients to protect our time and energy. If we don't set those boundaries, it can impact not only on us, but on other clients we serve. As I said, if you allow your appointments to overrun, then that impacts the next client coming along and pushes them further out. Boundary setting is also something that we can use as an example to our clients. So I'll suggest strategies and priorities for you to consider. If it doesn't fit, discard it. We'll also, along the way, explore imposter syndrome and take a look at how you can use that to guide your own training and self-development program. So as this is simply an introduction to this pillar, looking at practitioner mindset, I don't have any major homework for you to do today, but I do invite you to share with me what your main mindset issues are. Either drop me a comment or email me if you prefer to keep things private. I promise I read every email, and I can rearrange the order of my topics if there's a theme that is coming up often in responses that I see from you. So for today, like I say, this is just to introduce this area to you and its importance in creating sustainable growth in a solo health practice. So thanks for stopping by and have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.